What's up, losers? Today I'm back with another r/fatlogic escapade. Reading a few piquant posts. And trying to conjure up some kind of meaningful analysis. This is episode 75 in the fatlogic series. Which, according to Wikipedia, makes it the Diamond Jubilee. But we already had the Diamond Jubilee in episode 60. So yeah, this is the second Diamond Jubilee. Very cool. But anyway, I'm sure I've got some great posts to look forward to in this one. So without further dilly-dallying, let's get into it.
I need to lose this chub.
Oh no. Why? Chub is nice, warm.
Lol, it's summer. I don't need to be warm.
Haha, comfy.
Okay, so, I don't have too much to say about this one. I just thought it was funny. Apparently these messages are between a couple of friends. And the "Chub is nice" friend is discouraging the other friend from losing weight. Because she herself is fat, and doesn't want to be left behind. Which is pretty sad, and not very supportive, but that's not really my business one way or another. I'm more interested in questioning the notion that chub is really that nice. Like, I've never been big enough to have any significant chub accumulation on my body. But it seems like it would be more uncomfortable than anything else. It seems like it would mostly just chafe and sweat, which are not things that I would describe as comfy. I guess I can recognize that fat might keep you warm in the colder months of the year. But I feel like there are better ways of achieving that. You know, jumpers, blankets, heaters, stuff like that, which don't require you to carry around a bunch of extra weight. Or put your health at risk in the process. As Patrick once said, we're not cavemen, we have technology. Although now that I think about it, even cavemen had fire, right? So I guess they were just a little more advanced than today's fat activists. Where was I going with this again? Oh yeah, chub, yay or nay, to chub or not to chub? Let me know in the comments, I guess, haha. Moving on.
Eat 5 small meals per day. And run. Also, eat only breakfast and dinner. And walk. Also, eat lots of protein. And lift. And don't even do any cardio. It's bad for your joints. Also, don't eat too much protein. And make sure you're sleeping a lot. But don't be sedentary. But don't be too active. It's bad for your blood pressure. Make sure you replace all your lost salt. But never eat too much sodium. It's easy. Just eat vegetables. But don't eat potatoes though. Or corn. Fruit is obviously good for you. And also it's all sugar. And is bad for you. Sugar, I forgot to mention, is a vital source of quick-burning carbohydrates that your brain needs to survive. And you should avoid it at all costs. Protein is hurting your kidneys. Make sure you eat a lot of it. Drink water. Never starve yourself, unless you're calling it intermittent fasting, and then it's okay to starve yourself a little bit. Don't overhydrate. Being vegan is obviously the healthiest lifestyle. And also it's not. Fish is obviously super good for you. And it's full of mercury and killing you. Get some sun every day for vitamin D. And skin cancer.
Well, that was exhausting to read. And you know what? I think that's exactly the point. This post is deliberately doing all it can to make dieting seem as demanding, paradoxical, and impenetrably complicated as possible. And it doesn't care at all about representing things fairly, or making any kind of sense at all really. The apparent contradictions that this post identifies pretty much all fall into one of two categories. You've got the ones that are obviously different kinds of advice, targeted at different people, e.g. run, versus don't do cardio and lift instead. And you've got the ones that are not mutually exclusive at all, and just require a perfectly reasonable degree of moderation, e.g. eat some fish. But don't eat enough that you'll get mercury poisoning. My personal favorite example of this is the sleep a lot, but don't be sedentary one. Like, what is the implication exactly? That people should just lie around in bed all day? I'm pretty sure it's possible to get an appropriate amount of sleep. without giving up on all physical activity. Haha. On the whole, this post utterly fails to be clever, in the way that it was probably intended to, because rather than exposing the inherent contradictions of diet culture, or anything like that, it just betrays a childish lack of nuance, and an inability to recognize that diet and exercise are not monolithic concepts, but include a vast spectrum of behaviors, priorities, and goals. 2 out of 10 not impressed.
I know some is legitimate, but I can't help but think most thin/straight-sized people's body dysmorphia is really just fat phobia, scared of being perceived as fat by other people. This tweet is causing quite the stir over on Twitter, and so I'm very curious what you guys think. I think a lot of people have latched onto the words body dysmorphia and removed it entirely from actual BDD, which is incredibly debilitating and disorienting, as a way to deflect or distance themselves from having to take an active role in dismantling their internalized fat phobia. I'm curious what your thoughts are, and don't be shy. I've been called some terrible things on Twitter as a result of this tweet, so I know people have big feelings. I think that thin/straight-sized folks are eager to latch onto body dysmorphia and insecurities as a way to perpetuate their internal fat phobia and not be seen as fed by society. Things to ponder. Let me know what you think. Hashtag weight stigma. Hashtag fat phobia. Hashtag fatphobic. Hashtag fat people problems. Hashtag body dysmorphia. Hashtag body positive. Hashtag fat positive. Hashtag fat positivity. Hashtag fat lib. Hashtag insecurities. Hashtag thin privilege. Hashtag bias. Hashtag ED recovery.
Jesus Christ, can these people not just mind their own business? For once in their lives, seriously. What good could possibly come out of this? Just let people have their feelings. Nobody cares if you find other people's relationships to their own bodies objectionable. That's for you to deal with, not to put on people who are already having a hard enough time as it is. Like, I can accept that the term body dysmorphia has probably become overused and watered down due to people self-identifying with it, rather than getting a real diagnosis. But that doesn't mean that the people who do this are fat-phobic, or trying to distance themselves from fat people, or whatever. It just means that they're struggling with insecurity about their body, and using the language that they have available to them to try to understand this insecurity. It might be unhelpful, and it might be frustrating to people who do have a BDD diagnosis. But it's certainly not malicious, or intended to disparage fat people. At least, not in the vast majority of cases. The part of this post that ticked me off the most was when the poster said that people were, quote, trying to distance themselves from having to take an active role in dismantling their internalized fatphobia. Like, excuse me, not only is this a wildly inaccurate and unfair characterization of people identifying as body dysmorphic, but it's also totally entitled and presumptuous. People do not owe you shit. Nobody is under any obligation to dismantle their own internalized fatphobia, or whatever, to make you feel better. So why would we need an excuse for not doing it? Sometimes it seems like these fat activists forget that they have no authority over anyone, and are generally regarded as a joke in reasonable society. So I guess I'm here to remind them, you are not in charge here. Please stop trying to pretend otherwise. Oh yeah, and the most genuinely concerning thing about the post is that, despite it acknowledging that some body dysmorphia sufferers are legitimate, the main function it is going to serve by stoking this kind of skepticism is making it more difficult for real BDD sufferers to be taken seriously when they come forward. Which is extremely damaging, especially when combined with a condition like BDD that already makes its sufferers question their own experience. I don't know about anyone else, but I don't think that protecting the fragile egos of self-obsessed fat activists is more important than getting psychologically vulnerable people the help that they need. So yeah, in summary, get the frick out of here. Well, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed the posts and my commentary. What do you think? Is Chub nice, warm, and comfy? Is living a passably healthy life an insuperable maze of contradictions? Are thin people who claim to have body dysmorphia actually just fatphobic? Let me know in the comments. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, or I'll feed you so much tuna that you'll die of mercury poisoning. Just kidding, haha. Anyway, catch you later.